Welcome to our audio family, dear listeners. We truly appreciate each of you. Let us know in the comments where you're listening from. Your likes and subscriptions help us bring even more dramatic and heart-touching stories to life. Now, lean in and enjoy the story. Anna stirred the simmering borscht in her quiet kitchen, relishing a rare moment of peace. Her daughter Masha was still at school, her husband Victor at work. These few minutes of solitude were like a breath of fresh air, time to dream, reflect, breathe. But the front door slammed, too early. Anna didn't need to check who it was. She recognized that purposeful, energetic stride. It was Victor, and he was bursting to share news. After 15 years of marriage, Anna had developed a sixth sense. She could tell his mood just from the sound of his steps. He burst into the kitchen, grinning wide. The same grin that always preceded chaos. Anna had even given it a name in her mind, the apocalypse smile. "Anechka," he said cheerfully, tossing his bag onto a chair and hugging her from behind. "I have amazing news. Last time he said that, they had to sell their car." "Oh," Anna replied carefully. "My mother is moving in with us," he declared, as if announcing they'd won the lottery. Anna froze, the ladle suspended midair. Even time seemed to stop, except for the smell of borscht, reminding her the world hadn't ended yet. "She needs full-time care," Victor continued with suspicious enthusiasm. "So I'll bring her here tomorrow, and I'll keep an eye on her apartment." Like a dutiful son. Anna instantly picked up on that tone. She knew that tone. Victor had a habit of hiding personal gain behind noble gestures. "Maybe we should talk about this first," she suggested gently. "We could hire a caregiver or ask social services to help." Victor recoiled as if she had suggested launching his mother into space. "What? She raised me alone in an 18-square-meter apartment, and now that we have a 3-bedroom flat, I should turn her away?" Anna remembered clearly the last time Nina Vasilievna stayed with them. 3 long years. Go to her mother-in-law had scrutinized everything with a grimace, washing all the dishes again from scratch. "You're not scrubbing these pots properly, Anechka. Let me show you. And why is this place such a mess?" "Shouldn't we at least discuss this?" Anna asked softly. "What's there to discuss?" Victor blinked, genuinely confused. "Decisions made. It's settled. Tomorrow at 11. Oh, and please make her favorite raisin casserole." With that, he left the kitchen. Anna stood alone, ladle still in hand, borscht boiling over. That evening, locked in the bathroom, she called her best friend. "Lena, he's lost it," she whispered. "Remember when his mother stayed with us for a month? I almost ended up in a psych ward." "Then talk to him seriously," Lena advised. "It's useless," Anna sighed. "To him, she's sacred. You know what he said when I complained she rearranged the whole living room? Mom knows best how a home should look." "Then, maybe take Masha and stay at your mom's for a while?" "No way. Nina Vasilievna would turn my daughter into her clone in a week, then cause a scene. If I push him, he'll just shut down. Last time, he didn't talk to me for 2 weeks as suddenly, knock, knock, "Mama, are you okay?" Masha's voice came from behind the bathroom door. "I'll call you back," Anna whispered. She opened the door. Masha stood there, a perfect copy of Victor. Same dark eyes. Same stubborn chin. "What happened?" the girl asked, her face worried. "Were you crying?" "No, I'm just—" Anna hesitated. "Your grandmother Nina is moving in with us tomorrow." Masha's expression darkened. "The one who said I'm poorly raised because I don't stand every time an adult enters the room?" Anna gave her daughter a sympathetic look. "Mama, do something," Masha pleaded. Masha's voice trembled. "Please, Mom." She'll start bossing everyone around again. It was late, too late for sleep. Anna lay wide awake, staring at the ceiling, listening to her husband's steady breathing. Her mind kept replaying a conversation she had just days ago with a colleague. "Can you believe it, Anya?" Natasha from accounting had whispered. "Vitya stays late at work every Thursday now. But guess what? We saw him, with some Lyuba, at a cozy little cafe. She was smiling at him like they were the only people in the world. Even touched his shoulder. Anna's chest tightened. Just 2 days ago, she had found a business card in Victor's blazer pocket. Lyubov Krasnova, senior manager for key clients. Her number was circled, in red, with a tiny heart drawn beside it and those late-night texts, the way Victor grinned at them like a teenager with a secret. It all made sense now. So that's why he needed his mother's empty apartment. Poker, with friends on Wednesdays. Romantic getaways with Lyuba on Thursdays. A perfect little hideout. Multifunctional, discreet, and convenient. The thought clawed at her. Sleep fled completely. By 4 a.m., Anna rose silently, wrapped in her robe. In the soft glow of a nightlight, she walked to the kitchen, pulled out a notebook, and started writing. Later that morning, Masha walked into the kitchen and froze. There was her mother, wearing a cheerful apron that read, "Best wife ever," carefully, preparing a raisin casserole, but something in her eyes looked different. "Mom, you didn't sleep. You've got circles under your eyes." Anna smiled. "I had an idea. For when Grandma arrives. You want to help?" Masha hesitated, sensing something strange. "What do we have to do?" Anna leaned in, whispering like a spy. "Remember that movie? The one with the undercover mission?" Masha's eyes lit up. "You mean infiltration?" "Exactly," Anna nodded. "It's time Grandma learns what real care feels like." The operation began. Anna and Masha moved Masha's belongings out of her room. They found an old doorbell and rigged it as a bedside call button. Masha arranged little pill bottles, secretly filled with vitamins and mints. Anna laminated a detailed medical routine, including every procedure she could think of, from blood pressure checks to herbal foot baths. By 1:05 p.m., Anna was transformed. Perfect dress, flawless hair, standing tall at the front door. The bell rang as she inhaled deeply and opened it with the warmest smile she could summon. "Nina Vasilievna. What a delight to see you." Victor's mother stood on the doorstep, a short woman in a rigid brown suit, her dyed chestnut hair styled in tight waves. Victor trailed behind, lugging 2 heavy suitcases. "Anya," the mother-in-law forced a smile. "What's that smell?" "Your favorite," Anna beamed. "Raisin casserole." As Victor stepped inside, he felt a strange sense of relief. Maybe she's accepted it, he thought. He couldn't have been more wrong. The living room sparkled. Not a single speck of dust. The table was elegantly set with china they usually saved for holidays. Pastries glistened under the soft lighting. Nina froze at the threshold, eyes narrowing. "Such cleanliness," she muttered. "And such a lovely aroma," she added as she finally crossed in. "Did my sweet granddaughter cook this?" That word, granddaughter, stabbed Anna like a blade. For 15 years, Nina Vasilievna had hinted, nudged, and outright demanded they have children. And once Masha was born, after 3 painful years of trying, Nina shifted to criticizing them for stopping at one. "Masha's at school," Anna answered sweetly, though her voice carried an icy undertone. "That made Victor shiver, but I prepared a surprise just for you." Nina blinked. "Oh? What kind of surprise?" Anna led her to Masha's old room. Inside, the bed was made with embroidered sheets. On the nightstand, framed photos of Victor from different years, fresh flowers, a glass of water with a straw, and, the doorbell call button installed discreetly within reach. "My goodness," gasped Nina, clutching her chest. "And where will Masha sleep?" she managed to ask. "In the living room, of course," Anna replied. "The fold-out couch isn't ideal, but she's young. She can handle it. What matters is that you are comfortable." Nina blinked, her mouth slightly open. Maybe I should stay in the living room instead." Anna's smile didn't waver. "Oh no, dear mother-in-law, this room is yours now, we insist. You know, maybe I spoke too soon." Nina Vasilievna clutched her chest, but not from a heart attack. More likely she was holding back laughter. It all started when her daughter-in-law, Anna, suddenly turned into Florence Nightingale. If Florence had a clipboard and a laminated household regime. "What are you saying, Nina Vasilievna?" Anna interrupted sharply when the old woman timidly suggested something. "A sick person needs peace, and a separate room." Victor and I have already discussed everything. Right, dear? Victor stood with his mouth open, obviously recalling no such conversation. Anna didn't wait for his reply. She pointed proudly to a nightstand covered in medicine bottles. Here are your medications. I've drawn up a strict schedule, every 3 hours, including at night. Don't worry, I'll wake you. At night? Nina asked weakly. Of course. Health comes before sleep. Anna continued without pause. I've also created a special diet. Sadly, we'll have to say goodbye to fried food, sweets, and bread. Only steamed vegetables and low-fat cottage cheese from now on. She waved a hand dismissively at the pastries on the table. Today's cake? A one-time exception. You're first and last. The front door slammed, and their daughter Masha burst in from school. Grandma, she exclaimed with suspicious enthusiasm, I helped prepare everything for your treatment. Treatment? Nina repeated. Yes. Masha proudly displayed the medicine bottles. Mama said you'll live in my room now because you need special care. I even left you my favorite computer games, Tetris and Snake. They say those are great for elderly people. Nina nearly choked. Elderly? Anna beamed. Now here's our home schedule. She handed over a laminated sheet like it was a golden ticket. Wake up at 6 a.m., followed by a contrast shower, 20 seconds hot, 10 seconds cold. Great for circulation. Then morning exercises, breakfast, medication, and foot massage. A sudden knock interrupted the terrifying list. That must be Zinaida Petrovna, our new housekeeper and caregiver, Anna said cheerfully. A large, stern woman entered the room. She looked around like a prison warden inspecting her new post. Hello, patient, she greeted in a voice that sent chills down Victor's spine. When was your last enema? Victor coughed nervously. Anna, maybe. We shouldn't, but Anna ignored him. Don't rush, Zinaida said. We'll do it tonight before bed. Doctor's orders, Anna added. Professor Zilberstein, remember, you asked for the best, dear. Victor's face twitched. Zilberstein? When had he? He'll visit every Monday. 8,000. Per visit, but your mother's health is priceless, right, sweetheart? Victor swallowed hard. Mondays were his poker nights at his mom's empty apartment. Business poker, he called it, though the only business involved was splitting the winnings. And Thursdays, reserved for meetings with Lyubochka, who had been hinting more, and more often, that dingy cafes weren't cutting it. By the way, Anna said sweetly, where should the caregiver stay? Stay? Victor and his mother echoed in unison. Of course, Anna replied, genuinely puzzled. Nina Vasilievna needs 24/7 care. I'd love to dedicate myself fully to your mother, but that means quitting work. She dramatically pulled out a resignation letter. Victor's eyebrows shot up. Anna's salary made up 2/3 of the household income. If we hire someone, it'll cost $150,000 a month, Anna continued matter-of-factly, pretending not to notice the growing panic. But she's your mother, so I thought, let's give her the best. Zinaida will stay in your study. And you, Vitya, can sleep on a folding bed in the kitchen. Folding bed? Victor squeaked. Well, you said health comes first, Anna reminded him with a smile. Zinaida opened her bag and pulled out something that looked suspiciously medical. Shall we measure your temperature? I have a special mercury thermometer. The only sound in the room was the ticking of the wall clock. Nina Vasilievna pressed her hand to her chest again. Not from fear, not anymore. She was trying desperately not to laugh. You know, Vitya, she said finally, sitting gently on the edge of the bed. I think I overreacted. I feel much better now. Better? But the doctor said. Victor stammered. What he didn't know was Nina Vasilievna had just decided she'd rather walk a marathon with a broken leg than go through Anna's care. And she wasn't the only one plotting an escape. Your doctor doesn't know a thing about medicine, Nina Vasilievna snapped. Her voice sharp and final. I feel perfectly fine. No dizziness, no chest pain, my heart is just fine. But Mom, Victor began, worried. I'll handle the apartment myself, she cut him off again. Anna noticed the glint in her mother-in-law's eyes, something cunning, even mischievous. "Oh, and by the way," Nina added casually, "I've decided to sell it. I'm moving to Spain. The climate is better for my joints, and I've already found a charming little flat in Alicante." Zinaida Petrovna muttered something about irresponsible relatives and quietly left the room. Victor's mouth opened in disbelief, but no sound came out. "You're moving to Spain?" Anna asked, stunned. "Yes, darling." Nina nodded, then unexpectedly winked. "I've always dreamed of seeing the sea, and, who knows, maybe I'll even find myself a gentleman. I'm not that old, you know." Victor staggered, reaching for the doorframe to steady himself. "But how are we supposed to manage without you?" he mumbled. "You'll survive," Nina said cheerfully as she stood up. "You've shown you care, and I appreciate that. But now it's time for me to live my life. I'm calling the realtor today. Anna, dear, will you walk me out?" In the hallway, as they left a stunned Victor behind, Nina Vasilievna leaned closer and whispered, "You're smarter than I thought. I underestimated you." Anna smiled. "I learn from the best." Nina gave her an appraising look and suddenly burst out laughing. "All these years I thought you were just a sweet, obedient girl I could manipulate. But it turns out, you've got some fire in you." 15 years in your family," Anna shrugged. "You learn to adapt." Nina nodded slowly, then lowered her voice. "Tell me, that thing with Lyubochka, was it true, or just clever strategy?" Anna's face darkened. "It's true. People saw them together. And then there were those strange late-night texts and mysterious business trips. I thought he just wanted the apartment for poker nights," Nina muttered. "His father was the same. A gambler, never brought a dime into the family. Guess the apple didn't fall far." "Not entirely unexpected," Anna sighed. "Exactly," Nina said gently. "Sometimes men need a little reminder of what they stand to lose." The two women locked eyes, an unspoken alliance forming between them. "Are you really going to Spain?" Anna asked again. "Why not?" Nina shrugged. "I've dreamed about it for years. I was just too scared to do it alone. But now I've got a reason," she chuckled. "You gave me courage. Now it's my turn to give something back. Don't let him walk all over you, girl. I spoiled my husband rotten, and guess what? He left me for his young secretary. At 55, he suddenly decided he was young again. Can you imagine?" Anna froze. She had never heard about Victor's father. "He's alive?" "Alive and well," Nina snorted. "Though for me, he's long dead. Married. That secretary even had more kids." Just then a taxi pulled up. Nina grabbed her bag. "Call me sometime, Anya," she said, settling into the car. "And yes, I'm still selling the apartment. Not out of spite. I just finally realized it's time to live for myself and stop tormenting all of you." Anna waved, her heart a tangle of emotions, relief, surprise, maybe even admiration. When the car disappeared from view, Anna pulled out her phone. "Hi, Mom," she said into the receiver. "Remember you were thinking of moving closer to us? Well, I think we just found the perfect place." 1 month later, Anna sipped her coffee at a small cafe, checking the time. Nina Vasilievna was late, but then again, she always made an entrance. As she liked to say, elegantly delayed. Besides, today she had an excuse. She'd just flown in. A lot had changed over the last month. Nina had actually sold the apartment to Anna's own mother, who had long wanted to move nearby. And Victor, after a rather serious conversation with Anna, had quieted down. He spent more time at home, helped Masha with her homework, and seemed humbled. And yes, Nina had truly moved to Spain. Now she regularly sent photos from the beach, sunsets, the sea, and to everyone's shock, a mustachioed Spanish gentleman who, by the looks of it, was her new romantic interest. "Sorry I'm late," Nina Vasilievna appeared, glowing and tanned, sliding into the seat across from Anna. "Your mom detained me, kept asking about my new home. She invited me to stay in my old apartment, you know." Anna smiled. "So, how was your vacation?" Vacation? Nina laughed. Girl, I moved there. I'm not coming back. Best decision I ever made. She leaned in conspiratorially. Oh, and by the way, I met someone. His name is Jorge. Her eyes twinkled with excitement. Spanish men. So passionate. Anna blushed but couldn't help smiling. And for the first time in years, everything felt right. So, is it better now? Nina Vasilievna asked, sipping the coffee brought by the waiter. Somewhat better. Anna nodded thoughtfully, her gaze distant. After that whole story with Lubochka, Nina narrowed her eyes. So, there was something going on? Anna let out a weary sigh. I think so. Even if he's still denying most of it, but I'm afraid it wasn't as harmless as I'd hoped. Her voice dropped, filled with the weight of betrayal. After you left, I confronted Victor directly. No more guessing, no more pretending. I showed him the business card with the phone number circled in a heart. And the message I found on his phone. Nina leaned forward, eyes sharp. And what did he say? Anna stared at her cup, turning it slowly in her hands. At first, he denied everything, but then he admitted it. Her voice trembled just slightly. He planned to meet Lyubochka in your apartment, said they'd already met in cafes a few times, swore nothing physical happened. But still, oh, my son. Nina shook her head, her voice heavy. Just like his father. He said he panicked, that life had become too predictable. Work, home, work again. No surprises, no fire. Anna looked out the window, her voice softening with a mix of pain and nostalgia. When I caused that big stir with your arrival, it somehow jolted him. He realized he could lose everything, his family, his daughter, over a moment of weakness. Nina leaned back in her chair, exhaling deeply. So I helped you stage a jealous wife's drama. For no reason? Not entirely for nothing. Anna shook her head. He really was planning to use your apartment. Not just for Lyubochka, but for poker nights. He felt cornered. Between work and family, he said he couldn't breathe. Typical men, Nina scoffed. The moment life calms down, they think it's time to break something. I was no angel either, Anna admitted. I suspected the worst right away, but I never made the time to just talk until it was nearly too late. A pause. Then quietly Nina asked, and what about Lyubochka? Transferred to another department. Anna shrugged. Victor told her it was all a mistake. She didn't take it hard. For her, it was probably just a thrill, not something serious. The two women sat in silence for a moment, letting the truth settle. And how's little Masha? Nina finally asked. Anna smiled, her expression softening. She misses you, believe it or not. Said her grandmother was fun, and asked if she could visit you during her school break. Nina's face lit up. Of course she can. I'll show her the real Spain, and you, Anika, you come too. Thank you, Anna said with a grateful smile. Maybe this summer. Victor is swamped with a new project at work. I never said bring Victor, Nina replied with a sly smile. Let him work. He needs to. We will relax, go to the beach, go shopping. I found the cutest little boutiques. Anna laughed. It felt strange and a little wonderful to be making plans like this with her mother-in-law. Once upon a time, it would have been unthinkable. You know, she said thoughtfully, I remembered something you once said, that Victor's father is alive. He was very surprised when I asked him about it. Nina pursed her lips. Of course he was. I told him all his life that his father died heroically, saving his team on an expedition. What else could I say? That he ran off with a young secretary and only paid child support because the court forced him to? But Victor's a grown man now, Anna said gently. Maybe it's time he knew the truth. Maybe even met his father. Nina fell silent, staring into her coffee. Maybe you're right, she said finally. Spain gives me time to think. I've reflected a lot, maybe too much. I guess I held on to my resentment too long. But Victor, he has siblings now. Maybe it's time. They met, exactly, Anna agreed. Masha could have uncles and aunts. I'll write to Stepan, Nina said with new resolve. Stepan Igorovich. I'll ask how they're doing. We'll see from there. They stayed in the cafe another 2 hours talking about everything. Spanish, customs, Anna's new neighbors, Masha's hopes of joining music school. When Nina finally stood to leave, Anna felt a tug of sadness. I'm glad things are different between us now, she said, hugging her mother-in-law tightly. Me too, my dear, Nina replied, embracing her back warmly. I always wanted a daughter, but I got a stubborn son instead. She smiled through bittersweet eyes. And when he brought you home, I looked at you, so beautiful, so smart, and thought, now that's the daughter I always dreamed of. At first, it was jealousy, Nina Vasilievna admitted quietly. I was afraid you'd take him away from me. Silly, wasn't I? You weren't silly, Anna shook her head. You were just protecting something precious. We all do. I can be the same when it comes to Masha. Nina chuckled. Now, that's wisdom talking. Then she added, by the way, your mother is a wonderful woman. I admire how she's taking charge of her apartment renovations. Anna blinked in surprise. You talked to my mom? Why not? Nina smiled and shrugged. We're the same age after all. And we have a lot in common, like difficult children who think they know better than us. She winked. Anna shook her head, still stunned. That's news, but good news. They said their goodbyes and Anna stood for a while, watching the taxi drive away. Then a thought crossed her mind. She pulled out her phone and dialed Victor. Hey, she said, how's work? I just ran into your mom, and do you remember our first date? Let's go back to that same restaurant tonight, just us, I miss you. 2 months later, their apartment was filled with laughter and voices. At the long dining table sat Anna and Victor, their daughter Masha, Anna's mother Olga Petrovna, and across from them, Nina Vasilievna, glowing with joy beside her sun-kissed Spanish companion Jorge. But that wasn't all. Sitting nearby were Victor's estranged father, Stepan Igorovich, his wife Clara, and their daughter, Victor's half-sister, 20-year-old Alina. Never thought we'd all be at the same table, Victor said, pouring champagne. To family. To family, everyone echoed. Anna looked around, taking in the warm faces and easy conversation. Not long ago, this very gathering would have felt impossible. Too many old wounds. Too many unspoken words. Now Masha was happily chatting with her new Aunt Alina. Nina and Clara were exchanging casserole recipes, and Victor was speaking with his father. Cautiously, yes, but with genuine interest. Thank you, Victor whispered to Anna, pulling her close. If not for you, we'd still be living in separate worlds. It wasn't me, Anna smiled. It was your mother who started it all. What are you two whispering about? Nina called out, squinting suspiciously. Talking about me again, aren't you? Only in the best way, Mom. Victor grinned. Nina turned to Anna. You know, Anechka, Jorge and I have a big house in Alicante. Why don't you all come for New Year's? Bring Olga Petrovna. Invite Stepan and his family too. Mama, have you lost your mind? Victor laughed. That's a lot of people. The house is big, Jorge finally spoke in his accented Russian. Plenty room, ocean clothes, fireplace warm, all will be good. Actually, Stepan said, surprising everyone. I've always wanted to visit Spain. Sounds like a great idea. Then it's settled, Nina clapped her hands. We'll celebrate New Year's in Spain. We'll pull Masha from school a week early. It'll be fine. Hearing her name, Masha perked up. We're going to Spain? Really? Can Aunt Alina come too? Of course I will, Alina beamed. It's not every day I get such an awesome niece. Hold on, Olga Petrovna interrupted. Who's going to watch the apartments? I just finished my renovations. I don't want to come back to a burst pipe. Good question, Victor said, then suddenly burst into laughter. Everyone turned to him puzzled. What's so funny, son? Nina asked, narrowing her eyes. I just realized, he chuckled. If it weren't for your apartment, none of this would have happened. No family reunion. No reconnecting with Dad. Nothing. Everyone fell silent for a moment. Then Nina began to laugh too. "You're right," she said. "The apartment you wanted to use for poker nights ended up reuniting the whole family." Anna raised her glass. A toast to apartment issues that sometimes bring people together. Everyone laughed and raised their glasses. That night, after the guests had gone, Anna and Victor sat on the balcony, gazing at the stars. "You know what I realized today?" Victor said, holding her close. "I always thought my mother wanted to control my life, but all she really wanted was to be a part of it." Anna nodded gently. "That's all any of us really want." Anna nodded slowly. To be part of something greater, a family, a story, someone's life. She looked into Victor's eyes. "Remember how scared I was when you first told me your mother was moving in? But in the end, it changed everything. For the better." Victor took a deep breath and added softly, "Even helped me realize just in time that I had to stop things with Liuba." His voice cracked with regret. "I still don't understand what came over me. How could I risk everything we had?" "Let's not go there," Anna whispered, resting her head on his shoulder. "We both learned from it. What matters now is that we talk to each other. Really talk. So, I should make more shocking announcements that freeze your blood." Victor joked. "Don't you dare." Anna giggled and playfully nudged him in the ribs. "I've still got plenty of ideas for warm welcomes." They both laughed. And in that quiet, golden moment, Anna realized something. Maybe everything had unfolded exactly the way it was meant to. Sometimes you have to come to the edge to finally see the horizon, and sometimes all it takes is truly listening to understand each other. She turned to him and suddenly said, "Vitya, what if we got a little house in Spain too? Near your mom? We could fly there on weekends and she could drop by anytime she wanted." Victor's eyes widened in horror. "What?" Anna gave him the sweetest, most innocent smile. "Well, she's your mom. Didn't you say you'd do anything for her?" Victor groaned, shaking his head in mock defeat. "Anya, you're impossible." He kissed her gently. Meanwhile, in a cozy hotel room, Nina Vasilyevna tapped her screen and smiled as her old friend Carmen answered the video call. "Carmen, you won't believe it. My plan worked." She beamed with pride. "My son finally spoke to his father again. I made peace with Anna. And now, I have the perfect reason to bring them all to Spain." She leaned closer to the camera, eyes twinkling with mischief. "Not me going to them. They are coming to me." With a sly grin, she added, "You know, maybe I was wrong to fight Anna for all those years. Turns out we're actually very much alike. We both like things done our way. And we both know, sometimes to win you have to bend and pretend you've lost." Did you enjoy this story? Show your support by liking and subscribing. It helps our team bring more emotional and meaningful stories to you every day. We're grateful for your time, and we're working hard to improve with each new episode. Please forgive any slip-ups in accents or expressions. We're learning and growing with you. Take care, stay kind, and never stop believing in second chances. Monsieur.